Let me start with something uncomfortable. You're not lazy, you're just stuck. I know because I was there, sitting at my desk, laptop open, book right in front of me, and somehow I still couldn't start. I'd tell myself, I'll begin in 10 minutes. Then those 10 minutes turned into an hour. Then the hour turned into guilt. Then the guilt turned into scrolling. And the worst part? At the end of the day, I'd feel exhausted, even though I barely did anything. Here's the shocking truth most people don't realize. Starting is harder than doing. Not the work, not the studying, not the gym, not the project, just the start. And science backs this up. There's a simple rule, just 5 minutes, that can literally rewire how your brain handles work, motivation, and procrastination. No complicated routines, no crazy discipline hacks, no wake up at 4 a.m. nonsense. Just one rule. And once you understand it, you'll realize why productive people don't rely on motivation at all. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at procrastination the same way again. Most people think procrastination means you're lazy. That's not true. Procrastination is actually emotional, not logical. Your brain isn't afraid of work, it's afraid of discomfort. When you think about studying, your brain imagines confusion, boredom, effort, failure. So it panics. And when your brain panics, it looks for comfort. That's why you suddenly need to check your phone. That's why cleaning your room feels urgent. That's why watching one more video feels necessary. Your brain is trying to protect you. But here's the problem. The longer you avoid starting, the bigger the task feels, the heavier it becomes, the scarier it looks, until it feels impossible. This is why telling yourself, I'll do it later, never works. Later never comes. So the real solution isn't more motivation, it's tricking your brain into starting without triggering fear. And that's where the 5-minute rule changes everything. The rule is simple. Commit to doing the task for just 5 minutes. That's it. Not finishing it, not doing it perfectly, not even doing it well. Just 5 minutes. You tell yourself, I'm allowed to stop after 5 minutes. No guilt. That's important, because the moment your brain hears only 5 minutes, the fear disappears. 5 minutes doesn't feel threatening. It doesn't feel painful. It doesn't feel overwhelming. So your brain agrees. But here's the twist, and this is where science kicks in. Once you start, your brain enters a state called behavioral momentum. Starting creates motion. Motion reduces resistance. Resistance is what causes procrastination. Most people don't realize this, but action creates motivation, not the other way around. And once those 5 minutes are over, most of the time you keep going. Not because you forced yourself, but because stopping now feels harder than continuing. That's the secret. This rule isn't motivation talk, it's neuroscience. Your brain hates unfinished actions. There's a psychological effect called the Zeigarnik effect. It basically means this: once you start something, your brain wants to finish it. That's why unfinished tasks stay stuck in your head. That's why half-done work feels uncomfortable. That's why you suddenly feel focused after you begin. When you commit to just 5 minutes, you bypass the fear center of the brain, the amygdala. Instead of stress, your brain releases dopamine, not from finishing, but from progress, even tiny progress. And dopamine is the chemical of motivation and focus. That's why after a few minutes, things feel easier, clearer, less heavy. You didn't suddenly become disciplined, you just activated the system correctly. The most productive people aren't stronger than you. They just know how to start. Let's make this real. Studying for exams. Instead of saying, I need to study for 3 hours, say, I'll study for 5 minutes. Open the book, read one page, that's it. Most times you'll keep going. Gym. Instead of I need to do a full workout, say I'll put on my shoes and move for 5 minutes. Once you're there, you don't leave. Cleaning your room. Instead of I'll clean everything, say I'll clean one small area for 5 minutes. Suddenly, momentum takes over. Even mental health tasks, journaling, meditation, planning your life, 5 minutes lowers the pressure. And when pressure disappears, consistency appears. This is how people quietly build discipline without burnout. Most people mess this up by turning it into pressure, so listen carefully. Rule number 1, you must allow yourself to stop after 5 minutes. If you don't, your brain won't trust you next time. Rule number 2, prepare the environment first. Open the laptop, put the book on the desk, remove distractions, make starting frictionless. Rule number 3, focus on starting, not outcomes. Your goal isn't productivity, your goal is motion. Rule number 4, use it every day. The power isn't in one session, it's in repetition. 5 minutes a day beats 0 hours perfectly planned. This rule isn't about doing more, it's about breaking the cycle of avoidance, and once avoidance disappears, everything changes. Productivity isn't about intensity, it's about consistency. People fail not because they can't work hard, but because they can't start daily. The 5-minute rule builds trust with yourself. You stop breaking promises, you stop feeling guilty, you stop fearing work. And over time, your identity changes. You stop seeing yourself as someone who procrastinates. You become someone who starts. And starting is everything. Because once you start consistently, skills improve, confidence grows, results compound, quietly. No hype, no burnout, just progress. So here's my challenge to you. Tonight, not tomorrow, pick one thing you've been avoiding. Just one. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Tell yourself, that's all I'm doing. And start. No pressure, no perfection, no expectations. Just start. Because your life doesn't change from big motivation. It changes from small actions done consistently. This rule saved me years of stress, guilt, and self-doubt. And it can do the same for you. Try it tonight. Build the habit. Trust the process. Let's level up together, one small start at a time. You've got this.